Hey, welcome to Man Kitchen Recipes. I'm Kevin, and today we're making a eclair. I'm calling it a Meat-Clair because, well, they kind of look like a chocolate eclair right there. Doesn't that look like an eclair you'd get at a donut shop almost? This one here is New Mexico style. That one's mine. Let me show you how I make these. I'll put mine on a plate. We'll come out and we'll taste test it. Look at that. I'm telling you what, these not only smell great, but I know they're going to taste amazing. Check out how I make them. All right, today on Man Kitchen Recipes, we're blurring the line between bakery and barbecue pit. All right, so I'm calling them a smoked Meat-Clairs. You know what an eclair is, right? It's a cream-filled donut bar-like French pastry. But this is going to be 100% Man Kitchen recipe food. I'm going to smoke some ground beef. I'm going to fill it. I'm going to make little eclair-shaped meat patties. I'm going to fill it with mashed potatoes. We're going to top it with some red chili, some bacon. You top it with what you like. You could even use like a creamy cheese topping. But anyway, so let's get this thing going. I've got 2 pounds of hamburger. And just to make sure that my little eclair boats stick together, we don't need any extra calcium in there. I'm going to add 2 eggs and a half cup of breadcrumbs, and I'm going to sprinkle in some SPG. You can probably about a tablespoon just for flavor. All right, the egg and breadcrumbs basically get just to help it stick together and hold its shape. So what I'm going to do now is, I'm not sure how many I'm going to get. Let's see here how big I should make the meat. We'll just kind of eyeball it for the moment. We're going to get 4. I'm going to do 4, I guess. So that's that's almost a half a pound of meat each, right? Eyeballing it, not measuring anything. Okay, those look pretty good. Okay, so basically all I'm going to do is kind of form these into, let me get this over here. You know what an eclair is, right? It's a donut that's shaped about that big, maybe a little bit bigger. And they got it cream filled, chocolate covered usually, or whatever flavor you like. So I could use a spoon to do this part. I think I can do it with my fingers probably better. Essentially what I'm making here is kind of like a boat. I guess you could call it a boat, but we're calling it a Meat-Clair. So this is going to be a filled meat and potato eclair, basically. Okay, so for the grill, this is all I'm going to do right here. I'm going to make 4 of these, and I'm going to get them out to the pellet grill at 250 degrees. And just like that, I've got all 4 of them here. If you notice, the side walls are a little deep. That's so they can hold more potatoes, more cream filling, right? It's not cream, it's going to be potatoes. So let's get these at the pellet grill at 250 degrees. Right, got our grill up to 250. Set these in here just like this, and once you put them on this rack, don't push down on them. I'm hoping that these don't sink down too bad. I was going to refrigerate them, but I think they're okay. And we'll see you in about 45 minutes. Look at that. Well, block the sun. There you go. Look at that. Just to let you know, I'm going to be frying up 4 strips of bacon to go on top of these Meat-Clairs. All right, we got to make a couple of things while those Meat-Clairs are smoking. And first thing I got to do is I'm going to make a barbecue balsamic glaze that we'll put on there on the outside of that meat. Once it's smoked, probably put it on a couple of layers. Okay, and this is simple. This is just, you can use a cup depending on how much you're using. This is just probably barely over a cup. I mean, over a half a cup. Didn't quite have enough for a cup, but that's okay. I don't need that much. I'm going to use a tablespoon and a dribble of balsamic vinegar, a teaspoon of smoked paprika. I'm just going to get this heated up and mixed together, and this will be our glaze for the beef. Now I need to make my drizzle to go on top of these, and I was just going to drizzle some red chili sauce, and I thought, you know, chocolate eclairs, maybe we should make just a quick lazy, kind of like a mole sauce. So what I'm going to do is, I've got this red chili sauce, just half a cup, half a teaspoon of cocoa powder, unsweetened, just an eighth of a teaspoon of cinnamon, and also just a pinch, maybe an eighth of a teaspoon of cumin. Okay. Turn my flame down. It's kind of turning into almost like a milk chocolate color here. Maybe a little bit darker. So I tasted it. I added another half a tablespoon, so a total of 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder, and then this is probably about a quarter teaspoon of brown sugar. It just needs a tiny bit of sweetener in there. And that should do it. There's my glaze, my faux mole. Faux mole sauce. Right, I'm heating up some water to go, hot water to go in this buttery golden mashed potatoes. These are the dehydrated kind. You can make and boil potatoes and all of that if you like. This is just an easy way to get it done, quick and easy. This is still potatoes. And then I'm going to add, you know, just, what is that, maybe a quarter cup of Parmesan cheese to my potatoes, just to give them a little extra flavor. I'll give them another pinch. Well, wouldn't you know it, I had 2 cups of hot water. I poured it in there, we mixed it up, and there we go. We got our mashed potatoes. This is just the instant mashed potatoes, but I'll tell you, they're nice and creamy, and you can make them fresh from scratch if you got the time. We're just making a quick, easy meal here. So if you have a pastry bag, you can put this in a pastry bag, but I don't, so I'm using a gallon freezer bag. You want to put your mashed potatoes in there. I don't have a piping bag, we're using just a regular freezer bag. Okay, so what we're going to do here is take this bag, I'm going to cut a hole down here in the corner, and we're going to pipe it into those little meat boats we got out there. Okay, 45 minutes. Got a meat probe here just to verify. These should be right out about 150. Okay, yep, 150. Bring my glove out here, but these have a little juice in them, so I'm going to see if I can pour some out. Okay, that'll work. And then after further review of my gallon bag, it had the flat bottom, so I stuck these potatoes in a quart-sized bag so that I actually have a point here that I can trim off. Okay, so now what I want to do is get these little babies filled up with some mashed potatoes. Might as well see if I can get all the mashed potatoes in there. Stuff them really well. Okay, all right. These are going to be good. Forgot to bring out my balsamic barbecue glaze, so let me go get that. get these little meat boats glazed up. All right, I've got my glaze. Now we just want to glaze the outsides of these. Okay, these I didn't mention these. I'm using the smoked pecan pellets on these. 250 degrees, leaving it there, and I'm going to come back out in probably about 15 minutes and give it another glaze. And this should get a nice smoky flavor on top of those potatoes. And we'll be back in about 15. Nah, I'll go ahead and glaze them. I'll be back when they're done. All right, these Meat-Clairs are done. They did not stick. That is a good thing. Get them on this pan. I don't have a plate big enough for all four of them, so they're going on this pizza pan. I mean, look at that. All right, what do you think of those? Those look fantastic. I don't know about you, but that's what they look like to me. Okay, so remember that bacon I cooked up? It's time to add toppings. I did put a second glaze on. The potatoes have a little bit of a skin to them because they got a little bit of smoke. Bacon doesn't just have to go on the potato. Okay, what do you think of that? For most people, that's where it's stopping. But you know, if I didn't add green chilies, I'd hear about it. So for mine, Elizabeth doesn't want green chilies tonight. She's got a little bit of an upset stomach, so we're leaving hers just kind of plain like this. We may be giving some to her daughter and her husband. So I'm getting green chili on mine because I am here in New Mexico, and that's like adding salt. Okay. And then also I made that faux mole sauce. I've got it in this squeeze bottle. I'm going to get that drizzle over mine. So let me move over a little bit just so you can see what I'm doing. All right, here's my faux mole. And we're going to drizzle this back and forth across the whole thing. And I'll tell you what, does that look like a chocolate eclair now or what? Of course, you know, we got a little green chili on there, but man, oh man. Is that dessert or is that dinner? Get that from the side. Oh, look at these. It looks like an eclair that you'd get at the donut shop. Yeah, you deserve a donut. This is the box they would come in if you ordered these at the donut shop. All right, let's get a taste of this. This one. All right, what do you think about that? I mean, come on. Does that look like a chocolate eclair? Huh? Just like you would get from a donut shop. But this is my meat shop here, and this is a meat potato video, just like my stuffed mashed potatoes. I'll leave a card at the end for that. And hey, you know, I backed off on Man Kitchen Recipe videos to one a week, Mondays now instead of twice a week, because I got 2 other channels. So if you want to see more of me, I mean, why wouldn't you? I have my tortilla takeover, and also Elizabeth and I have What We Thought, and that's currently I'm doing a renovation in my bedroom to bathroom. If you want to come see how I'm doing that. So anyway, back to this Meat-Clair. Look at that. All right, this is meat and potatoes deluxe. Let me just cut the end of this off so you can see the inside. Kind of got the meat in there, but there's the cream filling of a Meat-Clair. All right, so I'll take a piece with the meat, mashed potato. Look at that. Here we go. That faux mole sauce that I put on there, perfect. Mine with the green chili and the faux mole, it tastes outstanding. If it didn't have that, it would still be very good. So for those of you that want to have a nice meat potato dinner, make that balsamic barbecue sauce to put around the edges. It's very, very, very tasty. All right, let's take another taste. It's so good. All right, so there you go. That's my Meat-Clair. That's my cream filling. Order yours today. We deliver. Thanks for checking this out. I hope you have a great day.